Look at me. Not the person you pretend to be, but the person who's been knocked down, counted out, talked about, and still breathing. I didn't come to whisper today. I came to wake something up inside you, because the same life that knocked you down is about to see you rest UP. Some of you walked in here tired, but you're not defeated. Some of you are broken, but you're not finished. Some of you are bleeding on the inside, but heaven still has a plan for your life. You didn't survive what you survived just to stay stuck where you are. You didn't come this far to sit down now. This is not the season to quit. This is not the moment to surrender. This is the hour to rise up. When life tried to bury you, it didn't know you were a seed. And seeds don't die underground. They grow. Today, I'm not speaking to your pain. I'm speaking to your power. Get ready, because what's been asleep in you is about to stand up. Some of you are carrying pain that never got a voice. You learned how to smile while something inside you was screaming. You showed up for everyone else while quietly bleeding in places nobody could see. But hear me clearly today, pain was never sent to destroy you. Pain was sent to develop you. What you've been through was not meant to break your spirit. It was meant to build your strength. Pain has a way of convincing you that this is the end of the story. It tells you that because you were hurt, you are damaged goods. It whispers that because you failed, you are finished. But pain is a liar. Pain only shows you where you are wounded, not where you are weak. And the very place where life hit you the hardest is the same place where power is about to rise up. You didn't choose everything that happened to you. You didn't ask to be betrayed, abandoned, overlooked, or misunderstood. But just because you didn't choose the pain doesn't mean you don't get to choose the outcome. You can either let pain make you bitter, or you can let it make you better. You can let it close your mouth, or you can let it give you a testimony. Some of you have been trying to outrun your pain, bury your pain, hide your pain. But what you refuse to face, you will never conquer. Healing doesn't start when the pain disappears. Healing starts when you stand up while the pain is still talking. Rising up doesn't mean you don't hurt anymore. It means the hurt no longer controls your decisions, your confidence, or your destiny. Listen to me. What hurt you did not end you. It sharpened you. It gave you insight, compassion, endurance, and authority. You can speak to places now that you couldn't reach before. You can lift people now because you know what it feels like to be down. Your pain gave you a language that comfort never could. So today, don't curse your pain. Use it. Don't sit in it. Stand on it. Don't let it define you. Let it refine you. You are not rising up in spite of your pain. You are rising up because of it. And when you stand, you will stand with wisdom, strength, and a fire that only pain could ignite. Some of you are still fighting ghosts that no longer have permission to follow you. Old mistakes, old failures, old versions of yourself keep showing up, trying to remind you of who you used to be. But I came to tell you today, your past is not your prison. It may be part of your story, but it is not the conclusion of your life. What happened behind you does not have the authority to stand in front of you. You may have made choices you regret, trusted people you shouldn't have, stayed too long where you should have left sooner. But hear me clearly, your worst chapter did not cancel your purpose. Life does not define you by where you fell. It defines you by whether you got back up. Some of you are still apologizing for a version of yourself that no longer exists. You've grown. You've learned, you've changed, but shame keeps dragging you backward. Shame wants you to stay small, quiet, and hidden, but growth demands that you step forward. You cannot rise up while you keep looking over your shoulder at yesterday. Your past can explain you, but it cannot control you unless you give it permission. The same fire that tried to consume you refined you. The same failure that embarrassed you educated you. You didn't lose those years. You invested them in wisdom. You didn't waste that pain. You gained discernment. Stop letting what you did talk louder than who you are becoming. You are not disqualified because you stumbled. You are qualified because you survived. You are still here, still standing, still breathing, and that means the story is not finished. If your past had the power to destroy you, it would have done it already. There is a future waiting on the other side of forgiveness, starting with forgiving yourself. You cannot rise while carrying guilt like a backpack full of stones. Drop it, release it, leave it where it belongs behind you. The road ahead needs your strength, not your shame. Today is the day you stop rehearsing yesterday and start stepping into tomorrow. You don't rise up by erasing your past. You rise up by refusing to live there. What's coming requires courage, clarity, and confidence. And you have all three because you walked through what tried to break you and came out alive. There will be moments in your life when the room goes quiet and you realize you're standing alone. You shared the vision, but they didn't see it. You spoke the dream, but they didn't clap. You took the step, and instead of support, you felt doubt staring back at you. That silence can make you question yourself, but hear me today, silence is not rejection, and loneliness is not failure. Some of you have been waiting on approval that was never required. You slowed down because they didn't understand. You shrank back because they didn't agree. But purpose does not need a vote. Destiny does not wait for applause. If everything you carry has to be validated by people who have never walked your path, you will never move forward. Every great calling begins misunderstood. The reason they don't believe in you is because you lack potential. It's because they are measuring you by what they've already seen. They only know the old you, the limited version, the familiar box. But God didn't consult your critics when He planted greatness inside you. You have to learn how to stand when no one is standing with you. That means trusting the voice within you when the voices around you are silent or negative. It means moving forward even when your hands are shaking and your knees are weak. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's obedience in the presence of fear. Stop looking for confirmation from people who are uncomfortable with your growth. Sometimes your elevation threatens their security. Sometimes your courage exposes their excuses. Their disbelief is not proof that you're wrong. It's often proof that you're early. There will come a season when the same people who doubted you will be amazed by you. But you cannot rise up for their approval. You must rise up in obedience to what you were called to do. If you quit because no one believed, you would be surrendering your future to someone else's limitations. Today, I'm speaking to the part of you that's been walking by faith with no witnesses. Keep moving, keep building. You don't need their permission to rise up. You only need the courage to trust what was placed inside you long before anyone else saw it. Comfort is a quiet enemy. It doesn't attack you with fear. It lulls you to sleep with familiarity. It tells you to stay where it's warm, where it's safe, where nothing is required of you. But hear me today, nothing powerful is born in comfort. Everything you are praying for lives on the other side of your willingness to be uncomfortable. Some of you have mistaken peace for stagnation. You said, at least I know this place. At least I'm not struggling. But comfort will keep you circling the same mountain while calling it stability. Growth requires pressure. Transformation demands tension. If you want a new level, you're going to have to leave an old one behind. Courage doesn't wait until everything feels right. Courage moves while everything feels uncertain. Courage says, I'm scared, but I'm stepping anyway. And every time you choose courage over comfort, you teach your fear that does not get to lead your life. There are doors that will never open because you refuse to knock. There are opportunities waiting on the other side of a risk you keep postponing. Comfort keeps saying tomorrow, but destiny keeps saying now. You cannot rise up while protecting what feels easy. Some of you already know what you need to do, but you've been negotiating with your calling. You've been asking for signs when you already have instructions. Deep down, you feel the pull to move, to grow, to stretch, but comfort keeps whispering, stay right here. Let me tell you this, the same courage you think you lack is activated the moment you step. Strength does not come before movement. It comes because of movement. You don't become brave and then act. You act and bravery meets you on the way. If you stay comfortable, you will stay familiar. If you step out, you will step into something that will demand more of you and reveal more in you. Rising up is not about feeling ready. It's about being willing. willing to fail forward, willing to be seen trying, willing to trust that what called you will also carry you. Today, choose courage, not because it feels good, but because your future depends on it. Comfort will keep you alive, but courage will make you come alive. Some of you are exhausted, and not just in your body. Your spirit is tired. You're tired of trying, tired of believing, tired of holding it together while life keeps demanding more. You wake up weary, go to sleep drained, and still show up the next day because quitting feels heavier than continuing. But hear me today, being tired does not mean you are finished. There is a difference between quitting and resting, and some of you have confused the two. Rest is wisdom. Quitting is surrender. Rest says, I will pause so I can continue. Quitting says, I will stop because I can't see the end. You don't need to give up. You need to breathe. You don't need to walk away. You need to regain your strength. Even the strongest people get tired. Even warriors sit down between battles. Even the fire needs fuel. So stop shaming yourself for needing rest. You are not weak because you are weary. You are human. Strength is not pretending you have no limits. It's knowing when to refuel so you can keep going. Some of you are tired because you've been carrying things that were never yours to carry. You've been holding expectations, opinions, and burdens that don't belong to you. No wonder you're drained. You were designed to rise, not to be crushed under unnecessary weight. Let go of what's stealing your energy without giving you purpose. Rising up when you're tired doesn't mean forcing yourself to run when you can barely stand. It means choosing not to quit while you rest. It means whispering, I'm still here, when you don't have the strength to shout. Sometimes rising looks like getting back up. Sometimes it looks like staying down long enough to heal. Don't make permanent decisions in temporary exhaustion. What feels unbearable today may feel manageable after rest, clarity, and renewed strength. Your vision didn't disappear. You're just tired. Your calling didn't leave. You're just worn down. So take the breath. Take the pause. Take the moment to recover. But don't lay down your purpose. This season is not proof that you can't continue. It's proof that you've been fighting longer than you realized. And if you're still standing after all you've endured, that means there is still something in you worth rising up for. There is something on your life that cannot be ignored, silenced, or erased. It's not an accident that you are here, breathing, surviving, still dreaming. Long before you discovered it, purpose discovered you. And no matter how many detours you took, it kept calling your name. Some of you have been running from what you were born to do because it feels too big, too demanding, too costly. Calling has a weight to it. It asks for your time, your discipline, your obedience. But what you avoid will keep knocking until you answer. You can silence the noise of the crowd, but you cannot silence the voice of purpose. You were not created to blend in, to merely exist, to pass through life unnoticed. There is an assignment on you that requires you to stand up, speak up, and show up. When you refuse your calling, you don't just delay your own growth. You withhold what others need from you. Someone is waiting on the version of you that walks fully in purpose. Your calling is not about perfection. It's about availability. You don't have to have all the answers. You have to have the courage to say yes. The moment you step into what you were called to do, grace meets you there. Provision follows obedience. Strength shows up when you move. Stop asking if you're ready. Ready is a feeling. Calling is a decision. You grow into it as you walk in it. Every step you take aligns you more with who you were created to be. Every act of obedience sharpens your identity. There will be resistance when you rise into your calling. Expect it. Resistance is proof that you are moving in the right direction. Ease rarely guards something valuable. But the same power that called you will keep you. The same voice that spoke purpose over you will sustain you. Today is not about hype. It's about alignment. Alignment with who you truly are. Alignment with what you were born to do. When you rise up into your calling, you don't just change your life, you impact generations. And when you finally stand where you were meant to stand, you will realize this truth. You were never chasing purpose. Purpose was always waiting for you to rise. So Now, after all you've heard, after every word that stirred your spirit and stretched your faith, the question is no longer, can you rise up? The question is, will you? You didn't come this far to sit on the edge of your breakthrough. You didn't survive the fire to smell like smoke forever. What tried to stop you did not succeed, and what tried to silence you only strengthened your voice. I need you to understand this. Today is not just a moment, it's a turning point. When you leave this place, life will still be life, challenges will still exist, but you will not be the same. Something stood up on the inside of you today. Something remembered who it is. Don't go back to thinking small. Don't go back to doubting what heaven already approved. Stand taller, walk bolder, speak with authority, rise with intention. And when fear shows up, remind it that you've already been through worse. When doubt whispers, answer it with action. When the world tells you to stay down, let your life be the response. This is your moment. This is your season. This is your call. Now lift your head, straighten your back, and with everything in you, rise UP.